We're staging a crash to find out whether school-run parents' faith in the safety of their 4x4s is justified. We've got a typical second-hand Discovery, and we're going to crash it head-on at 40 miles an hour into an alternative family car choice, a used Renault Espace. And to make sure we test the cars to the limit, there'll be just a 40% overlap when they hit. That's a harder test because it concentrates the load of the impact on a smaller part of the car's structure. Now, recent designs like the Espace have cross members at the front to channel some of the load to the rest of the bodywork, and our collision will be a good test of their effectiveness. But making the outside of the car tough is only part of the story. Once you've created a survival space, it's then down to the restraints within the car, things like the airbags and seat belts, to help cushion the blow. It's also vital that things like the dashboard don't have any sharp edges or bits sticking out. You don't want a face full of aggressive cup holder. The Mira winch is ready to pull the cars together. So where do you think your family would be safest? Now's the time to find out. Both cars seem to have suffered horrendous damage, but if you look more closely at the structures, differences begin to emerge. Here on the Espace, this beam here is connected to a crash member. As you can see on the passenger side, it's still relatively intact, but if you move over onto the driver's side, we see it's crushed, absorbing the energy of the impact. And not only has it absorbed the energy, it's also sent it through the A-pillar and along the sills, which has deflected it away from the passenger compartment, which has stayed relatively intact. So it looks as though the driver has had room to survive. But if you look at the Discovery, it's behaved very differently. The chassis on the Discovery is actually stiffer than the Espace. Here's the main chassis member here. But all that hasn't actually helped the occupants inside the car. All it's done is deflect the Espace into the softer bits of the Discovery's bodywork, with the result that the driver has much less room, and it looks as though his chances of survival would be pretty grim, really. The result of the match is clear. In this crash between these two cars, you'd be better off in the MPV, which is probably not what many 4x4 loving school-run parents would have expected.